To get rid of this wire.
Okay. So what I'm going to need you to do, Shellie, is tell me when you're comfortable before I let Sam start.
Okay, good enough. Go,
Okay.
Sam.
So you're going to be quiet for a few seconds while Sam runs. If I interrupt you, don't worry because we can edit anything out. So don't be
Okay.
nervous. And I'm going to control what the audience sees. You just worry about yourself.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay. Sam, give yourself 2 seconds of silence. And whenever you're ready, jump in.
Well, welcome everyone to another monthly program from the American Acupuncture Council. And this month we get to present something that's a little bit unique. It's not about insurance and coding, but something unique about cosmetic or facial acupuncture. And frankly, we're quite excited because we were able to get the foremost expert in it, Shellie Goldstein. Just to give you some of her background, let me get to the list because there's so many things that she's done. She's been doing cosmetic or facial acupuncture for some 26 years. In fact, one of the things she's called is the face whisperer because she has a very high clientele of a lot of celebrities and others seeking the type of thing that acupuncture can do as far as giving, I guess, an acupuncture facelift. She's been featured on Good Morning America, NBC Telemundo, Martha, Bravo. She's been featured in real major magazines: Harpers Bazaar, New York Magazine, Hamptons Magazine, Manhattan Magazine, Health, and Vogue. Which you can kind of tell that's kind of a high end. And so you can tell this is a little bit different client. And she's written a couple of books, actually more than a couple. One of them, To Look Younger in 20 Days with Do-It-Yourself Acupuncture, Facelift with Touch and Glow, Beauty Enhancing Acupuncture Facelift. And not only has she been one that's foremost in it for all these years, she's also now putting together a program at Tri-State College of Acupuncture on a 100-hour certification program for acupuncture professionals. So I'd like to welcome in Shellie Goldstein, our guest for this time. And we're really happy to have you, Shellie. Welcome in.
Thank you, Sam. Hi, pleasure. And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's exciting to talk about. And I think that cosmetic acupuncture, for lack of a better term, you can call it facial acupuncture, call it whatever you want. It's all the same. But it's a hot issue, right? A hot topic right now. And I think that a lot of people are really interested in it, both from a professional standpoint, but also from a consumer standpoint. So thanks. Let's talk.
Yeah. Oh, great. So here's the thing. So exactly, you said it. You can call it facial or cosmetic, but really, what would you say it is? You say cosmetic acupuncture. What do you do?
Well, it's actually, it was started many centuries ago. It was or initially called Mei Rong. Some people might recognize that name, and it's basically cosmetic beauty. It was employed by emperors and empresses and in some of the ancient times for not only maintaining health and beauty, but also systemically and constitutionally to make you feel and stay healthy and more youthful looking. So that's what we do. We work with the body. We don't just put needles in the face. We actually work with the principles of traditional Chinese medicine. And we look at the body. We look at the face as somewhat of a representation of what's going on inside. We use the principles of Chinese medicine or whatever your orientation is for acupuncture. And from those principles, we look at the systemic problems that create the aging process. So basically what I'm saying is that wrinkles, sagging muscle tone, poor skin, all of those are just symptoms of something underlying. So as acupuncturists, we are looking at not just the symptoms, but what's underneath. And as cosmetic acupuncturists, we're also addressing the wrinkles, sagging muscles, all of that from the outside as well. So we're working on the outside, we're working on the inside to create what we call beauty and health as one package. So it's really, beauty is your reflection of what's on the outside. So we work from the inside and the outside to make people look and feel their best every day.
Well, that's a heck of an explanation. I never understood it that way because being a coding and billing expert gives me a different perspective. But understand, it's really not so much that I'm just putting a needle to tone your face. It's really, if you are healthier, you will look younger and everything
Absolutely.
works better.
Yep,
So that's an
absolutely.
interest. So it really still follows the real traditional medicine principles of really just keeping the body healthy and homeostasis, I guess, if for lack of a better term. Now, do you treat any conditions per se, or is it something that is just kind of just the overall trying to get that person healthier and hence it enhances their outward appearance?
Both. So for example, if you look at something like digestive disorders, if you look at the face, digestive disorders really reflect in the muscle tone of the face. So we look, say, at the health of the spleen, the health of the spleen, the health of the stomach. And then we look at muscle tone. So if your spleen, if you have a damp spleen, in Chinese medicine, we're basically saying that all the muscles are heavy, everything is kind of saggy and puffy, similar to, say, the Pillsbury Doughboy. And in the face, it reflects as puffiness, swelling, heaviness of the cheek muscles, particularly the jawline. So we'll work cosmetically on the face to tone the muscles of the face and to reduce the puffiness and swelling, but you have to address what's underneath. You have to address the spleen. So, and treating the spleen, you're also treating the digestive issues. Same with the liver system. If you have, say, liver invading the spleen or liver blood deficiency, what we generally say as the liver controls the eyes. So what we'll see clinically is we'll see creasing between the eyebrows, around the eyebrows. We may see eye twitching, that type of thing. So again, in order to address wrinkles, we're going to address the liver as well. And skin, what do we know? We know from Chinese medicine that skin is ruled by the lungs. So if you're looking pale and wan, dull complexion, we're going to not only address your complexion, but we're going to address your lungs as well. So if people present themselves, and it doesn't matter which door you come in with my skin looks dull, but I have a cough and I have dryness, we're going to treat the lungs. If we come in with I have digestive disorders and I don't like the way that my face looks, then we're going to treat them both. So it really is truly the only inside-outside approach to health and well-being.
Well, so it truly is. So that's a revelation to me. It's truly a holistic. It's not, oh, you've got some wrinkles in your face, let's put a needle to tone the muscle somehow. But it's really dealing with that underlying condition that lends to it, which of course fits, I think, traditional medicine well in the consideration, like you said, lungs with skin or the spleen with the eyes and so forth. Well, you know what I'd love to see is, obviously you've done some pretty famous clients because you've obviously been featured in many, but do you have anything you can show that shows kind of just a before and after on, or some examples of what you've done?
I think I do. All right. So here we go. Let me just get there. And I will talk you through it as we go along. And I think it'll help to highlight more what I'm saying. All right. Okay. Great. Okay. So let me get started. And these are some, just to say, these are photographs that I have taken. These are my patients. And they're before and afters. It's usually, we do say that you have to put something into it, and which is time. So we say 10 sessions and reevaluate. And then when you are finished with, you're satisfied with your appearance, and then we move into a maintenance. We can talk about that in a minute, but right now, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is forehead. And as you can see, the top, can you see this arrow on the screen?
Oh, yes, we can see it fine.
Okay, great. Okay, so if you look across the forehead, you can actually see the creasing. Now, some people will say, okay, well, that's a wrinkle. We're going to get rid of the wrinkle. But no, really what's creating this creasing is the tension in the muscles. So if you look at, this is 10 sessions. So if you look at this, you can actually see the tightness in the muscle. And what we're talking about here is the liver. We're talking about the way that muscles twitch in the face. So when muscles twitch too strong or too fast, then you're going to get facial creasing. So not only in this have we addressed the creasing itself, but we've actually addressed the underlying cause, which is the way that the liver functions throughout the body. So
well, that's Shellie, that's phenomenal. I would say, I would wonder, someone who does Botox, they're just filling over it. With this, you're literally going in and getting that muscle to relax. So there's no changes, nothing filled in. You just got that to it. Because I mean, that looks remarkable.
This is re-education.
That's probably a couple of $1,000s worth of Botox to get something to look that way.
And it lasts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is eye redness. This is actually, I think, just one treatment. But this is, again, talks about the benefits of using acupuncture. So you see how red his eyes are. And then after one treatment, it's much softer. But not only is it softer, but his eyes are much more open. Look how hooded he looks in here and in here. And so as you can see, his eyelid ptosis, or that hooding, is diminished as well. So we're not just working, and again, we're working with heat in this condition, it's stomach
Well, so when you think of the principle, when you insert a needle, you're increasing blood flow, reducing inflammation. So often that's where you're getting such, I mean, that's a dramatic change, obviously. So
Right.
again, just it fits the perfect principle or fits the principle well of what acupuncture does when you insert a needle to see those changes in one visit.
Exactly. So this is obviously puffing under the eyes, and I have a lot, so I'll just be a little more efficient here. This is that glabella creasing again, liver. You know, I live in New York. I get a lot of liver problems. So, and softening in the glabella area. Now, this is interesting because as you see in this side, he looks, he's the nicest guy. And in this picture, he looks angry and a little bit mean, right? And once you open it up, so we're not just working with the glabella crease, but we're also working on opening the face, lifting the face, making it softer and much more appealing.
Well, I can't say I know much about, cosmetic surgery, but those are some remarkable results. I think that clearly there's a lot of people who'd be interested to see this type of change.
Exactly.
It's really something.
Yep. This is overall facial puffiness. And this is a perfect example of kidney yang deficiency. So here she's nice, puffy, swollen. Her whole face is puffy and swollen. And here we did not do a facelift. We did 10 sessions of acupuncture and looked more how toned and lifted her entire face looks. Look at the difference in the eyes, the hooding in the eyes.
It looks like she went on a diet.
It looks like she went on a diet. She went, yeah. And people will say, people come in for treatment. Let me just get to some okay, so this right here, do you see this area? This is one treatment. You can actually,
that's one treatment.
That's one treatment. Yeah, a before and after of one treatment. This, we're going to look at jawline and tightening in the jaw and shortening of this lower portion of the face. You can actually see a little bit better here. You can see the neck starting to, this I think is 3 treatments. So basically, we're creasing around the mouth, jawline. Look at the difference here. 1 treatment, 5 treatments, 10. And it's all natural. There's nothing, this is collagen building in the cheeks. And then we also treat other conditions too, say acne, hormonal acne, and this is menstrual. Here we are treating the menstrual disorders and showing up on her face as acne. This is a type of a dermatitis. This was all over her body. We treated it and it basically started from the feet, came all the way up and cleared up her cheeks. Here's another acne treatment. So there you go. So that's,
so I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, I've seen all the commercials for the different scrubs and all these things, but looking at that change, because really all those things, when they come out in that way, that's really not external things that are happening in the body.
Yeah. Well, it's both. Yeah, it's internal. We are treating the external to affect the internal and the internal to affect the external. So it's a combination.
Well, I would look, I coach high school sports and there's a lot of kids that take things for acne. And of course, they're harmful to a high school athlete because they also hurt your ligaments and tendons.
Absolutely.
And yeah. I would think as a parent, that would be something you'd want to make available. Now, do you have like pictures like that up in your office for people to see? How do you promote it, or how do you get people to know about the service that you provide in that way?
Good question. I am very, very fortunate. I have a lot of good press and a lot of people that refer to me. So mainly for me, it's word of mouth. But I have to say that I started this 1991. I've been doing this for a long time. And in the beginning, there were not a lot of people doing it. And the general public didn't really know that much about it until celebrities started getting it. And then all of a sudden open the door and everybody wants it. Right? So I have been extraordinarily fortunate in my career. The main thing for me that I would say to people out there is prevention is the key. So what I mean by prevention is the key is when someone is older and trying to look younger, you can do so much. And we say it's like taking your face to the gym. We can take 5 to 10 years off of your expression and off of your appearance. However, maintenance, when you start earlier, then you are preventing what's happening in the future. And I think that people are starting to do that more. And so that's why the door is being blown wide open with cosmetic acupuncture, because I think people are now looking at prevention as the key to longevity.
Well, sure, you don't. So, and here too, I'm assuming you probably must work with them on their diet and fluid intake, because it's clearly you're just looking at making this person healthier, and the healthier reflects in a better facial features, if you will.
Absolutely. And definitely diet and lifestyle and that type of thing. And also, this is so interesting because the Touch and Glow wand that I created, it's a wand. Gosh, I should have one with me. It looks like a pen, and you apply it to acupressure points on the skin. And we did a pilot study in the office, 20 days, and we asked them initially a number of questions and then other questions after that. We have great results. You can look on the touchandglowwand.com webpage and you'll see it there. But what we found out was not only was their appearance enhanced and they loved the changes in their appearance, but their self-confidence improved. And that to me is one of the most important things. When someone feels better about themselves, then I know I've done a good job.
Well, I agree. I'm sure that's got to be very rewarding, because you can watch someone that's older but gets braces and they feel more confident because their teeth are straighter. They feel much better. But if you can make your face look this way, because I just think of the amount of money that people spend. So that's what I could ask you. So when you charge, clearly this is not an insurance issue at all. This is something people come in. So you're charging cash. Now, how do you offer? They just pay per visit? Do you offer them to purchase a package of treatments? Because since this doesn't involve insurance, you have kind of a little bit more leeway in offering that type. So how do you approach it?
Well, two ways. And one is I have a lot of other things that I do as well. I use microcurrent, I use facial cupping, I use LED light. So I charge by time, services based on time. So rather than trying to upsell them all the time, I don't like to do that. I just want to say, this is the cost and I'll give you as much as you want. So I charge 60-minute services, 90-minute services, and 120-minute services. And so they will come in and they can pay either by the service, or if they want, because the commitment to it is important, we do offer discounts on packages. So they can get a package of 5, a package of 10, and then we just put that money in escrow and we pull down from whenever, so we don't actually get paid.
Well, that's certainly fine. Again, I emphasize that when it's not involving insurance, I mean, that's the whole issue on packages and discounts, is because insurance is involved. Being this doesn't involve insurance, it has, you get a lot of room to do that,
right,
and make those changes for people. And here's what I've often learned. In fact, my mom taught me this. She said, people will buy what they want and beg for what they need. Someone wants to look better, they're going to be willing to pay. I mean, you think of there's no plastic surgeon that does, facelifts that insurance covers unless they were disfigured. So clearly there's a start of business here. But I think what's interesting for me, and I think you've hit on it, is that clearly these people are also becoming healthier, though. It's not just a facelift. It's really, they've become a healthier person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, now, one thing I want to know is, now, obviously we saw dramatic pictures. Is there anything ever done like this if someone has, I don't know, a cellulite or wrinkles in the arms or other areas where they say, will it enhance or help that at all?
We have a machine that will address that. We also do a lot of derma rolling or microneedling, but it's not my specialty. There are 3 other people that work in the office. One person is the one that does body treatments as well. But it's all yes and no. I mean, you can make a difference, and we do it. It's a little more difficult because cellulite it's stuck phlegm in Chinese medicine. It takes a long time to break it down. So it takes longer. It takes a lot of dietary changes and a lot of home care regime. So yes, to answer your question, yes, it can be done.
Okay. And that was, I just was curious as to it. Now, in what you're doing, is there any type of credential an acupuncturist would have, or is, because it's technically acupuncture, could you just do this without really any particular certification?
Well, absolutely. If you're an acupuncturist, you can do it. However, it always helps to really understand your area of focus. So I do cosmetic acupuncture. I probably would not do, if someone came to me with, say, an autoimmune illness or cancer or something like that, I would refer them to an acupuncture that really specializes in that, because that's what they do. So I think that anybody that specializes in a service should learn as much as they can about it and become as educated as they can. In our 100-hour certification course, we go over everything. We go over the traditional Chinese medicine approach to cosmetic acupuncture, the Western medical approach. We break down skin versus muscle versus ligaments versus bone, and extensively study all of them from both perspectives, both Eastern medicine and Western medicine. We look at what's trending. We look at things like microcurrent, LED light, derma rolling, iontophoresis, sonophoresis. We look at the skin, we break down the skin. So if someone comes in with a pimple, what kind of a pimple is it? How do you get it? Is it from a fungus? Is it from too much sun? Is it from hormonal? So when someone comes to you with a skin problem or a cosmetic issue, the more information you have, the better practitioner you're going to be. And so, as any specialty is, learn as much as you can.
Well, that makes sense. So in other words, you don't necessarily need a specialty, but I would tell the audience that, think of it, medical doctors could do anything they want. Hence why you hear the term board certification,
right?
So that they show they have a specialty. So getting, obviously, as you say, doing a course or learning more. So you are teaching a 100-hour certification. Now, where's that going to be held? Is that going to be just in your, I'm assuming your area since you're in New York, but is there, so can someone come there to get this course, or?
It will be 3 days, 4 times for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 times a year. So it will be happening next year in 2018 as a prelude. If someone wants to learn more about it before signing up for something as big as 100 hours, I will also be offering in November 11th and 12th of this year at the same school in New York City at Tri-State, a 2-day course as a basic or fundamentals of cosmetic acupuncture. Fundamentals does not necessarily mean that you have to have no experience or a lot of experience. It's wide open for people who have experience or not. And one of the main concepts that we'll be going over is how to look at a face and understand what you see. And training your eye is the most important thing. Training the patient's eye is the second most important thing, but training your own eye to really see something and understand what it is so important.
Well, at bottom line is a picture's worth 1,000 words. So clearly, if I were to see that and I start looking at my face more closely, I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't I give that a try? Because of course, I assume, as with most the worst thing that happens is nothing happens. Right. But of course, mostly there's always something that goes on. Now, you mentioned that sometimes it's one true. What would you say is the average length of care someone comes?
Generally, in my practice, what people do is they will come for 10 weekly sessions. And then when they're happy with the results, and it usually happens then they come for maintenance. And maintenance is approximately a month. And if they put in the 10 sessions and then come on a monthly basis, they will hold the work that we've done for years. I have people that I've been seeing for 10, 12, 13 years, and they love it. And they are very obedient. They put in their 10 sessions, they came in, they come monthly, and they look great even now. So.
Well, I'm excited for this because I think so many have been looking for it. What would you say is, you've been your basis. Do you do all facial now, or do you have a practice where you're also doing pain management as well, or are you doing all cosmetic style, if you will?
90% of my business is cosmetic. I do have 3 other people that work here, and one of them is about 60% cosmetic, and the other 2 are about 50. So we do a lot of things in the office, but our specialty is really cosmetic acupuncture.
Well, how would you say, what would be the best way for someone to, if they weren't interested in getting started, what would you say is the first step for them, kind of saying, how do I start to approach this?
Learn as much as you can. Really get educated, learn as much as you can. Practice on your friends, practice on loved ones, and then start to, practice in the same way that you would open up your business. You can do health fairs, that type of thing. But really, honestly, practice and knowledge is the key to this.
So in other words, treat people like always, learn your craft. And I'd say certainly take a lot of before and after pictures, because
Absolutely.
that is just the drama of that. I was expecting, because I haven't seen these before, I was expecting certainly to see differences, but there were more differences there, because I've seen quite a bit. I'm in the Southern California, Orange County area. So the Real Housewives of Orange County, I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And I've never seen any of those things that they've done to look that good and that natural.
Well,
Frankly.
thank you.
So that's now, what would you say if you were to do anything that were different? Is there any pitfalls that you would tell someone that's getting started what they would want to avoid, or were a mistake maybe that you wouldn't want to see someone else make?
Yeah, don't under promise and over deliver. So because expectations will kill you. If you promise, oh, I can get rid of those wrinkles, I can do this, and you can't do it, they're going to be disappointed. If you say, I'm going to do the best that I can, let's try it. And really it is, let's try it. This is why the before and afters are good. You start and you take it one step at a time. Listen to what your patient has to say, because if they are complaining about the wrinkle between their forehead and you address their cheek muscles and you get great results with their cheek muscles, but they are still going to look at that one crease in their forehead. So you really need to, and then you've failed. So you really have to understand what they want. Don't make promises that you know you can't keep or think that you can't keep, and work with your patient. Train them to see what you see so that you're working as a team. And that's the most empowering thing is for you, is to have them participate in their care. Just as with acupuncture too. If you don't want to set up a system where you say, I can fix you, and they say, okay, try. You really want to work hand in hand with someone, because again, it's their health care. It is their health. And when someone participates in their health, the results are much stronger and empowering for them, not just for you, but for them, when they know that they have participated and have taken part in improving their own health and their beauty.
Well, certainly. In fact, I think it's a good point, because you can get a person that has level 10 back pain and get them down to a 2 and they can completely squat, but they'll still say, yeah, but if I rotate to the left all the way, it hurts a little. And you're like, my God, you couldn't move. So good, building those expectations. So I think that certainly makes sense. This is really remarkable to me. And I think that it's something that every acupuncturist that might have interest in it should certainly avail themselves. Now, is there any place where we can go to where your books might be available, so if they can read more, or is there a website that you have?
Yes, I do have a website. It's hamptonsacupuncture.com. Hamptons, HAMPTONS, acupuncture. We all know how to spell that, .com. And you'll see my website. You can read all about me. And if you go to the courses section, there are a number of online courses that people can take, a video, and then the book, and then the Touch and Glow wand, which is also available as well.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's great. Because I want to kind of also hit on too, that being that this is obviously a business where people are paying you up front, what type of problem do you have collecting on debt?
I don't.
That was my point. You didn't even know I was going to ask you that question, but I was going to ask that because clearly I've paid already. Yeah. And so let's say you did even a portion of your practice this way. Certainly, there are a lot of people interested, considering the baby boomer generation is aging, who are looking to say, let's do something. They're exercising. But are they doing the things to really do all those things where you really look closely and go, I've always wanted to do something about this puffiness in my eyes, and there's no machine at the gym to do that.
Right. Yeah, you're right. This transcends all generations. So baby boomers want to look younger, and millennials want to stay healthy. And so there, in every generation, there are people that are looking for this. And so I think that if you are starting out, I would actually start out with the millennials. I would start with lower price point and treating the people that are, because millennials are amazing. They are into health, they're into beauty, they're into maintenance, they're into looking the best that they can. I mean, they're in front of their camera, their phones all the time. So they're always looking at themselves and somewhat obsessed with it, which is fine. It's just the way that they were raised. So beauty is very important to them, both men and women. So you've got both genders. and they will come for it, and they don't have a huge amount of money. So when you're starting out, you just want to, you know, attract, I would start with a lower price point. I would start with millennials and then work my way up. And baby boomers will definitely pay more. They have the disposable income, but they also want more too. And it's a little bit more challenging because you're working with aging conditions and trying to go backwards as opposed to maintain and help people.
Well, I love that you said that, Shellie, because it's interesting. And hearing things on the news, you'll notice millennials are noted to not spend on things, but on experiences and themselves. And being this is the Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, they are more attuned to how they are looking and just being healthy. And I think for me, and this is, you know, the thing I'm most excited about hearing this is not cosmetic acupuncture in the way I think some people would think of it. It's not just about making your face. It's really making a healthier person. And in doing so, all those things about your face and body get better. And I think that to me that makes all the difference. This is something that's just beyond like simply like, oh, let's just, you know, put some dye in my hair. It's something that really makes it different.
Exactly. And I also think that millennials are under so much stress and stress shows up on your face. So if you can help people feel less stressed and improve their sleep, you are halfway there.
Okay, so here's I'll say we can start clipping. I'll say it's clearly it's something that's an area where people are interested. It's a cash business. You can do packages because it's not involving insurance. Just make sure that when they buy a package, if they use half, they get half back, something of that nature. It's something that you can hit all generations with. And I think certainly it's a growth area that I don't think many people have talked about, and many people are interested. When you consider, look at the amount of tooth whitening that you see now. This is just another area of that someone can say, hey, I want to spend a little on myself.
Absolutely. And it's not, it's yourself, but also as a mother, when you feel good, everyone in the house feels good, you know? So if you can be a healthier mom, then you can take care of your kids and with a happier attitude, and then they're happy as well. And same with your partners. And so it really does, it speaks for everything. You know, you can, everybody benefits from it.
Yeah, well, I think if you can talk to a parent and say, look, if your child has some acne, let's give this 5 sessions.
Absolutely.
And see what is the worst thing that happens? They feel better, but it only clears up a little. Well, heck, medication doesn't work that well, frankly.
Exactly.
Right. So and scrubbing your face, certainly we've all learned that's really not that healthy for you to begin with. So what a great tool. So I'll let you have kind of the last word. I'm thank you for being with us. I think this is opened my eyes, and I'm sure many who realize that there's areas of acupuncture, and I love this for acupuncture because it shows acupuncture is really full circle. It can be pain management, all those things we think of, but really does what medicine does is enhances a person's well-being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. And my motto is, when you look good, you feel good, and feeling good helps you to look better. So it's an inside outside approach, and it's extraordinarily rewarding. And I think that in this day and age, that it's helpful for so many people, as you said, all generations and all genders. And it is one of the top subspecialties of the acupuncture profession. And so I feel really blessed to have been in it for so long and now be able to pass it on to others.
Well, I did read that it is the third most popular subspecialty. And at the end of the day, I think you said something that kind of is the ad in the office. If you feel good inside, you look good outside, and everything's better. So that's the start. Start making it available to your patients. Start adding another arm into your practice of something else that you can do, or you can choose not to, but why wouldn't you want to do something like this for patients who are seeking that care?
Absolutely. The NCCOM several years ago did what did they do? It was a questionnaire that they had through the NCCOM. People filled it out, and it was about cosmetic acupuncture. And from the results that came back, what the acupuncturists who answered the questionnaire said, 60% of their patients inquire about cosmetic acupuncture. 60%. That's a part-time business. So whether it doesn't matter what door they come in from. If they come in because they are in pain, or because they have digestive disorders or asthma or whatever, and then they say, oh, can you help me with my face? Or they come in and they say, can you help me with my face? And by the way, you know, my digestion is terrible. I have low back pain, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the same package. It's the same treatment modality. It's the symptoms are the symptoms, and the underlying treatment is the underlying treatment. And as Chinese medicine professionals, what we're taught is to look for the bigger picture, look at the symptoms, but then look underneath. What is the, what's really going on? What is the pattern of disharmony? Treat the pattern of disharmony and the symptoms will resolve. And that's what we're doing.
Wow. Well, and of course, then my face looks better. So I'm excited for this. I can't thank you enough for spending some time, because we know that you're busy and you do so much. I mean, heck, you're on our little acupuncture show and you've been on Good Morning America. So I thank you for taking some time to be with us.
This is as rewarding, if not more. So thank you.
Well, because we're speaking right to the profession. So I'll tell everyone, don't forget that the website for her is hamptonsacupuncture.com. And then if you go to the site, you can also click on, there's a section for continuing education. That course, as you said, will be coming up next year. But I think this is fantastic, and just another way of us enhancing the profession to say there's more to do than what we always feel that you're stuck with pain management. There's so much more available.
That's right. And if you want to check it out first, come to the November course. It's November 11th and 12th this year, 2017.
Well, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you,
And
Sam.
until next month, all our friends out there, we hope you got some positive energy from this. And I think you can really help change your practice and, of course, change your patient's life. That's what it's about. Continue on, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Hang on, guys.